Throughout human history, housing has been playing two major roles in a man's life. Economically, housing constitutes an important provision to a nation. It provides not only shelter but also security, comfort and dignity. It is also a social necessity because good housing enhances healthy living, which in return influences human labor and productivity. That is why the provision of affordable housing in Nigeria cannot be overemphasized. Good to have you join me on today's episode of Housing Development, your go-to source for housing information in Nigeria. I am Flora Ani, your housing diva. First, let's see the trending news in the sector.
The Kano State government, in a statement issued by Murtala Shehu of the Bureau for Land Management, has said that the existence of systematic land titling and registration will boost internally generated revenue in the state. He said that Governor Abdullahi Ganduje stated this when he declared open a 7-day retreat for the development of draft bill for the systematic land titling and registration. The governor also said that the exercise will be scaled up until it covered the entire state. The legal battle over the regulation of real estate transactions in Lagos State is expected to move to the appellate court following the lower court's affirmation of the government's power to regulate the sector. The Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria and the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers have met with their lawyers and agreed to appeal the judgment. They reportedly dragged the Lagos State government and its Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice before Federal High Court as the authorities move to regulate all real estate transactions within its domain. The federal government has launched an affordable cooperative housing in Lagos State as part of efforts to bridge the nation's shelter gap. Speaking at an affordable housing launch scheme on Saturday was the Managing Director, Federal Housing Authority, Senator Benga Ashafa. He said both formal and informal sectors were included in the ongoing mass housing drive. He further commended the Lagos State government for its strategies to increase housing stock. Former president of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, Wahid Kadiri, has called on the government to deploy the instrumentality of town planning and to enhance the security of the country. He made this known at a media round in Abeokuta, Ogun State. He further said that a well-planned city or town would enhance safety of the people. The Egyptian capital, Cairo, suffered a great loss as 5 people died and more than 20 were wounded after a building collapse. The Cairo Governorate Crisis Room was said to have been informed of the collapse at 3 a.m. The building consisted of a basement, a ground floor, and 9 upper floors. The governor of Cairo, Kahil Abdel Al, reportedly went to the site of the incident accompanied by civil protection forces. He ordered the establishment of an engineering committee to inspect surrounding buildings and evaluate the impact.
I'm Debbie Erb. I work for OPIC in the United States and keep watching the Affordable Housing Development Program.
Are you into real estate, building designs and architecture, mortgage banking and finance, property development, home finishings, tiles and ceramics, sales of building materials, and so on? Are you wondering how to get across to the perfect selling market? Then don't miss this opportunity to be a part of the 15th Abuja International Housing Show, the largest housing and construction expo in Africa, from the 26th to 29th of July 2021 at the International Conference Center. Come for the opportunity to network, exhibit, make sales, and see a sector's latest trends. Abuja International Housing Show, the place where dreams come alive. For more information, visit our website on www.ihsabuja.com or call 081 66 57 0090.
Your water and housing development. Visit www.africanhousingnews.com for more housing news. In most cities and towns, religious centers and clubs are springing up in streets in residential areas. Is it right to have such facilities situated in residential areas? How do some residents feel about this? That is the curious on Voices on the Street today. Take a listen.
Personally, I don't believe that having a religious centers and having a club in residential houses is not advisable, especially within the urban center, because a lot of constitutes a lot of nuisance among the people that live within the centers. So I don't believe that having worshiping houses or having club centers in residential area is not advisable.
I think it is right to have a religious center in residential areas, because reason is that it will build out the faith of most people, especially the grown-up ones, those coming up, so at least by the time they are hearing what the Bible is saying, they understand about the word of God, they will grow up with that faith. They will not grow astray.
Religious centers at least are a little bit welcome, but clubs, they are not advisable to have them in a residential area. The reason is, that is where children grow up. So children growing up in such things is not too encouraging for their lives, for their futures. So I don't think it's too good for them. It's too good to have such things in such areas.
Clubs, I would say no, but religious center, I would say yes. Because religious center adds value to the society. The teaching, the messages from religious places is that encourages morality in the society, but clubs is on the other side and encourages a kind of irresponsibility. So such things shouldn't be easily accessible to people. It will be a place that people have to make up their minds to go. But church, religious places amongst in residential places is good, because the influence can easily get across to people nearby.
I am Dr. Sam Egu, Senate Committee Chairman on Housing. Keep watching Housing Development Program.
Fully persuaded about the need for a more sustainable, modern, creatively crafted and functional design, Urban Shelter Limited has developed yet another masterpiece that so easily breaks the borders of creativity and dispels mediocrity. Well seated on over 210,000 square meters of land and marked for housing development, the Promenade Estate is located in an excellent part of the Federal Capital Territory, Lokogoma, a central point in Abuja, proximal to most places of relative significance and attraction and edged by multiple access roads where homeowners can swiftly meet up with schedules and appointments. Pushing the frontiers of communal living, the Promenade Estate has within its borders 2-bedroom and 4-bedroom semi-detached for the purpose of facilitating communal living, while homeowners have well-defined mutually exclusive spaces. The Promenade Estate appeals to the minds of intellectuals, professionals, and homeowners who have a thirst for a house that sits comfortably on global standard. Urban Shelter setting the pace.
Timberlock Wood Preservative surpasses all preventive measures designed to permanently prevent the damage and quality reduction of wood and wood-based materials by termites, fungi, bacteria, and other boring insects. Use Timberlock Premium Wood Preservative to prevent, correct, and defend wood and wood materials against deformities caused by termites and other insects in the later days. Timberlock is designed to solve wood preservation challenges with a standard you can trust. Timberlock Wood Preservative kills termites instantly. Timberlock Wood Preservative, the wood preservative brand leader in Africa.
Voices on the street there, they are all of the opinion that religious centers and clubs should not be situated in residential areas. The program is housing development. Have you heard of STORE? Well, STORE by Octo5 Real Estate is a web and app-enabled home purchase platform that enables prospective homeowners to reserve, subscribe to homes in existing and upcoming communities while making monthly payment over a defined period to take home ownership of such homes at completion. Don't take my word for it. The MD CEO of Octo5 Real Estate will speak more on that. Take a listen.
We realized that there were issues around transparency and proper project management. So what we did last year, especially during the COVID period, was to put our tech people to work, and we created a digital solution called STORE. Now, STORE is a digital marketplace. It's what you call a demand aggregator. All STORE basically is doing is creating a platform that makes it easy for anyone who wants to buy off-plan homes to go on to Google Play Store, Apple Play Store, download an app, and then you go on that app. It's like being in a supermarket. You see all the properties you want to buy. You see what the state of documentation is. You see what the state of development is. You start paying your money, and you're paying instrumentally. Now, the beauty is this: at the back end of STORE, we've again integrated with the mortgage marketplace, which is managed by the NMRC, Nigerian Mortgage Finance Corporation. What that also does is that as you begin to pay for those properties, the mortgage banks are also seeing your credibility. They're seeing your continuous payment plan. So by the time you're paying 30% towards part of a house, you're actually getting a letter in your email saying you've been pre-qualified for a mortgage. You're getting a mortgage. By the time we are finishing the house, you are collecting keys. The mortgage bank is collecting papers, and everybody is happy. And then you that you bought the property can, literally speaking, sell that property to somebody else or rent to somebody else without any stress or hassles. So what we've done is to create STORE. Of course, there has to be a guinea pig. So what we're doing is we're using ourselves as the guinea pigs. We've got projects that we've launched in Lagos. We have 3 sites in Lagos: Oworoshoki, Epe, and in Lekki, that we're using to pilot STORE. Here in Abuja, we're also introducing a project, 2 projects. We're finalizing them. We'll be unveiling them very soon, hopefully at the IHAS this year. And we're using those 5 projects to launch STORE. And our goal is that we're going to have a minimum of 10,000 clients soon on the STORE platform. The first batch will be buying our own properties, but we know that we do not have the capacity to supply all the demand. So we expect that as STORE begins to grow in popularity, other developers who are pre-qualified, who we've vetted, who are members of REDAN, meaning they're credible, would also be on the STORE platform. So a developer does not have to worry about where the market is coming from. And the person who is buying houses does not have to worry about whether the developer is buying houses from is credible. The app itself already shows you and answers those questions. So that's what we're doing. And that's what Octo5 is all about, creating solutions that make the industry grow. 20 years ago, when we used to record legacy, when we pioneered the use of flexi payment plans, people used to ask us, how can you tell me to pay 10% of the price of a property and you will deliver? How are you going to make it happen? And it took them a while to understand the power of aggregated demand. Today, everybody sells with flexi payment plans in Nigeria. Now we're moving to the situation where people are now beginning to lose their money. And because they're losing money, they're losing confidence. But they need housing. Housing is a major driver of economic growth. You can't do without it. So people are confused. Now, anyone who is able to create a digital platform that addresses those issues will succeed. So any developer, and I mean real developers now, people who are doing large-scale communities, who want to be able to guarantee their demand and also be able to satisfy their clients, must go digital. It's the future.
Hi, I'm Bob Weinsheng, CEO of iBuild Global. Keep watching the Housing Development Program.
One of the most prominent features of your house is your roof. Your roof will tell how old your building is. At Plus World, we pride ourselves in having the expertise and products to bring your roof back to life. While other roofing companies suggest removing the roof, we restore the roof with warranty assurance. Let Plus World Roofing recoat your old and fading roofs and make your roofs brand new. Our products are eco-friendly and completely harmless to human and the environment. We offer services that will sustain your roof's integrity and by extension, your property value. This includes roof repairs and maintenance for residential, commercial, and industrial properties. Our roof restoration solution saves you up to 70% the cost of replacing your roof. Contact Plus World Roofing today.
Now on this program, we are dedicating a special segment for 12 affordable housing estates in Nigeria. If you have a genuine housing project you want Nigerians to benefit from, simply inform us and Housing Development Crew will be there in no time on a tour to your housing estate. Well, we paid a visit to Sun City Estate developed by Adkins Services Nigeria Limited. Have a look.
My name is Engineer Babatunde Olaleke. I'm the Executive Director at Adkins Services Nigeria Limited, developer of Sun City Estate Abuja. Sun City, we have 3-bedroom bungalows, 2-bedroom bungalows, we have 3-bedroom block of flats, 2-bedroom block of flats. We also have a 1-bedroom block of flats. Then we have the medium and high end. We have the standard duplexes that consist of 4-bedroom duplexes. Sitting on between 650 to 700 square meters. And then we also have the luxury duplexes. We also, some of the luxury duplexes are 4 bedrooms, and some of them are 5 bedrooms, sitting on 1,000 square meters and above. So basically that's what we have. One of our key selling points is the quality of infrastructure. And you also see that on the paved roads we have wide walkways. You also observe that all of our drains are underground. You also observe that we don't have cables flying with our poles inside of this place. You observe that all of our electricity network are also underground cable. So that gives a good view of the estate. We also observe that we have plenty of growing in front of people's houses. We have tried to have something the green neighborhood so that the quality of air that people breathe and all of that. The place is not choked. So basically, those are one of our selling points. We encourage people to drive into the estate because it's already an existing project, so there's nothing that convinces one more than what you can physically see. Now, if you cannot come, we have a very robust website, adkansservices.com.ng. Also, on our website, we have an interactive platform where you can talk, you can chat to people. We also have phone numbers, we have email, and our various addresses are also there. So I'm sure with any of these platforms, you can be able to reach out and we can respond as quickly as possible.
My name is Munia Tagma. I encourage you to watch Housing Development.
A tour of Sun City Estate developed by Adkins Services Nigeria Limited by Housing Development Crew. Well, you can drive in to see the housing project or visit their website for more.
Keep a date with Housing Development Program every week on TVC. Housing Development is the first and pioneer housing program in Nigeria and by extension Africa. It remains the authentic voice of the Nigerian housing and construction industry. Housing Development is the only credible and specialized platform for seasoned professionals in the build industry, where quality and credible players in the real estate sector meet to interact, showcase, and analyze government policies. It is no doubt that hundreds of thousands of prospective Nigerians who desire to hone their personal properties have done so through the assistance of Housing Development Program in the last 10 years. If you are a stakeholder in the build industry, here is where you must be. We are authentic, credible, and supported by all the leading professionals in the build industry. Housing Development on TVC.
When the flagship Abuja International Housing Show took off over a decade ago, the expectations were high, and so were the standards, prompting both skeptics and interested stakeholders to wonder how such a show, a first of its kind, will be able to achieve its lofty dreams of making drastic impact in the already tough Nigerian housing and construction sectors. So far, so good. The expectations were not only met, but the show has absolutely carved a permanent niche for itself and has established a platform for both public and private sector stakeholders to draw inspiration in addressing sector-related problems in Nigeria and even on the continent. Let's take a look at some of the outstanding achievements of the show over these years. This will enable all stakeholders to measure the show's success and build their confidence. The establishment of land GIS in states. In the course of debates that were initiated by the show, one of the top recommendations for state governments to adopt in addressing the issues relating to land was the establishment of Land Geographical Information System, LGIS. So far, this has been adopted by most states in Nigeria, and it has enabled them to create a comprehensive data on lands and its allocation. Establishment of state ministries of housing. Prior to when the show started, most state governments had not realized the need to establish a designated ministry for housing. Stakeholders on the show were able to convince most states on the need to establish this ministry, given that housing is a very critical sector that cannot be left in the hands of the federal government alone.
My name is Andrew Chimponda, the Group Chief Executive and Managing Director of Shelter Afrique. I strongly endorse the housing program and housing show, and I think you should keep watching it. Thank you.
That's it on today's episode of Housing Development. Thanks for watching. Keep it at the same time next week. I remain Flora Ani, your housing diva. Do stay safe.